started riding the PMC after my mom got pancreatic cancer. She passed away. She made it about 6 months, and Senator Antonioni, he was our senator at the time, and he asked to ride the PMC in her memory. And at the time we didn't know what the PMC was, and he told us it was this big long bike ride to raise money for cancer research. And so we donated to his ride, and I started thinking, well, if he's riding a bike in my mother's memory, I should be doing something like that. So the following year I signed up to do the 50-mile long ride, and figuring I would try it out. And once I did the ride once, I haven't stopped yet. This is my 13th year. And so far in my 13 years riding in the PMC, I've broken the 50,000 mark for funds raised through the 13 years. That goes to Dana-Farber for cancer research through the Jimmy Fund. The PMC is the Jimmy Fund's largest fundraising event in the country.
Smile! Woo-hoo! Say woo! Woo-hoo!
In a way, the PMC is kind of a way for me to experience some suffering. You know, we have to ride, 20 miles and then a little bit of a break, and then another 20 miles and then a little bit of a break, and then another 20 miles, and then, after you've done that for a day, you go to bed and got to get up the next day early. And I could just remember thinking that Sunday morning when I was getting up, and I was tired and I didn't want to get up and didn't want to go out and ride the bike, and I can remember thinking to myself, like, my dad has to do this every day. He has to get up early every day to make sure that he has some food and take pain medication, or else he'll be in severe pain all day.
These are some of the medications that I have to take. This one's acetaminophen, and besides that I have to take morphine, which I live on, and the other one is oxycodone, and I have to take this 3 times a day. Without it, the pain would be astronomical. But that pain medication that I have seems to be reasonably effective. I know without it, life would be very difficult. I gotta get some coffee. Another important thing.
The medication that he's on now, Zytiga, was not out when he first got diagnosed. It had only been out for a couple of years when he needed to go on it. And when he got originally diagnosed, he was given 2 to 5 years to survive. And he's just finished his 6th year. And the Zytiga is something that has really been good for him. It's had very little side effect, and he's been doing well on it. And that drug would not exist without the money raised for cancer research.
I find that I get physically tired much quicker than I used to. It's not easy to be able to manage a normal lifestyle when you're in the kind of pain that is involved with this. They told me that the pain associated with bone cancer is extremely difficult to manage and to live with, and they're right. Trust me.
Yeah, it's difficult to watch, especially when they tell you that it's not curable. It's a disease you're going to have to manage for the rest of your life. It's It's something that years ago, it's something that would have killed him. If it wasn't for the PMC, we would know for sure that prostate cancer would kill him.
Cancer has a unique way of being able to adapt to the medication that it's faced with, and it has a way of changing and mutating and evolving into something that it can get past and get around. And once that starts to happen, the PSA number goes up, and what they have to do is they alter the medical treatment formula that I have, which throws a curveball at the cancer, because the cancer now looks and says, wow, something has changed. And people don't realize, just what kind of medical situation that I've got. Because when I say that, they say, wow, I never would have known, or I never would have guessed, or I never would have picked up on it. But trust me, it is what it is.
During the PMC challenge, so he follows me to every single water stop. And in the beginning it was fun, and he would pack waters in the car, and he always have a cold towel, and pat on the back and the hug. And one thing I have noticed is as the years have progressed, it's getting harder and harder for him to do the PMC with us. Even though he's not riding on a bike, he's still putting in a lot of work, driving to each water stop, getting up early. And the last couple of years have been a struggle for him, and it's a reminder that as well as he's done in the past, it is slowly taking him. It's a slow fight that he knows in the end he's not going to win, and it's hard to watch him deal with that. Some days, he gets down about it, and the reality of the fact that he's not going to get better, caves in on him. And so it's our job and family to bring him out of that funk and get him to focus on the days ahead and not the end game. Life is a journey. It's the everyday living that he does, and not the end game. And that's what keeps him going. He's got grit.
Being able to live with what you've got and not let it be something that it's going to bog you down. You have to have the resilience to say, I'm going to be around next year to go on that cruise, or I'm going to be around next year to play in the golf league, or I'm going to be around next year to go to the, I want to be able to go to my son and future daughter-in-law's wedding. I'm not going to miss that. Christ, I can't die. I got too many things I got to do. Having that kind of resilience and that attitude, I think, is a big part of being able to live with it, cope with it, and be able to have a future with it. Like I said, make it something you can live with, not something you die from.
They told my dad that one of the things that he needed to do to keep himself strong and healthy was physical activity. And he plays golf, he chops wood, he mows the lawn. This is a man that had a 1% chance of living 5 years after he got diagnosed. That was 6 years ago. And through a combination of, the research and the medication that Dana-Farber has been able to produce, with the help of all of these donations and, events like the PMC, that combined with just determination, an unwillingness to give up, even against something that he's been told is incurable. I choose to ride. I choose to try to inspire other people. I choose to let people know that, yes, you can suffer, and then you can endure it, and you can become stronger for it.
How do I feel right now? Frustrated.
It's hot! It's hot!
I don't need the song to motivate myself.